Are you confirmed?
China, the world's economic giant, with billion-dollar mega projects and an unshakable dominance in global trade. But beneath all that grandeur, a deep crisis is brewing. The youth. The generation meant to build China's future is trapped in unemployment. So why? We're revealing the dark side of this seemingly booming economy. Today, we'll talk about why China's economy is weakening, why young people can't find jobs, and how they'll overcome this issue. Youth, the best years of our lives, filled with unforgettable experiences, having fun, laughing, traveling, falling in love. But for some, today's youth isn't just a sweet dream. It also means facing some harsh realities. There are many reasons behind this problem. As the video progresses, you'll learn about all of them. Let's take a look at history, back to where it all started, the 1980s. In those years, China's economy was on the verge of a major transformation. 4 years before that, Mao Zedong passed away, and a new economic era began, transitioning from a closed, centrally planned economy to a market-oriented one. These reforms towards a market economy began under the leadership of Deng Xiaoping. By the 1990s and early 2000s, China had made a name for itself globally. Known as the world's factory, China advanced in many areas thanks to its low labor costs and massive production capacity. This included sectors like technology, gaming, textiles, and more. Back then, in the early 1980s, Shenzhen was just a small fishing village. The transformation it underwent amazed everyone. In just a few years, it seemed like the city appeared out of nowhere. By the 1990s, the small village had turned into a massive metropolis. This transformation led to the birth of tech giants like Huawei and Tencent, making the city one of the world's largest electronics production centers. There's nothing like a carefully thought-out plan, well-structured, future-oriented plans. But who could have predicted that such rapid progress would come with a price later on? It's the year 2020. By this time, 53% of China's economy was made up of the service sector. Day by day, China started to transition into a consumer-based economy, and with each passing day, these steps accelerated. Significant growth was seen in many sectors, including retail, finance, technology, and tourism. However, some issues in the service sector made it harder for recent graduates to find jobs. The decline in the manufacturing sector limited job opportunities for unskilled workers, which in turn increased unemployment among young people. As the days, months, and years went by, technology in China advanced at an incredible speed, and automation was introduced in many sectors. While the advancement of technology was a good thing on one hand, it also brought a major problem on the other. By 2023, the number of industrial robots per 10,000 workers in China reached 187, compared to 49 in 2015. While automation increased productivity, it reduced job opportunities for low-skilled workers. Just because something is good for some doesn't mean it's good for everyone. Automation is one such example. Some people benefited from these opportunities and made more money, while others were left behind. China's population has surpassed 1 billion, meaning more people are showing interest in various sectors. This includes higher education graduates. Back in 2000, there were around 1.6 million college graduates, but by 2023, that number had risen to over 11 million, marking a 587.5% increase. However, it's been observed that these graduates are having trouble finding what they want in the job market. This surge has led to an oversupply of workers in certain fields. For example, graduates in social sciences and humanities face more competition in the job market. However, there is a skills gap in fields like technology, engineering, and science. What's more, the Chinese government wants graduates to acquire skills in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to meet the country's needs. but they are struggling with this. This mismatch is contributing to higher unemployment rates among graduates. Although the government has attempted various reforms to align the education system with the job market, the effects of these reforms have been limited. As of 2024, the unemployment rate among college graduates has reached 15%. One of the most critical issues, affecting not only China but the entire world, was the COVID-19 pandemic. You might remember, during the darkest days of the pandemic, life in Italy came to a near standstill. As silence echoed through empty streets, people were confined to their homes, trapped in uncertainty. But right in the middle of this silence, a glimmer of hope emerged. Italians started singing to each other from their balconies, expressing their fears and sorrows through songs. Each melody was like a light filtering through dark clouds. This moment became a dramatic reminder, not just for one country, but for the whole world, that we could rise again with hope. In 2020, many sectors, companies, and governments were caught off guard by unexpected issues and didn't know what to do. The service sector, retail, tourism, and SMEs were especially hit hard during this period. This situation led to an increase in unemployment rates among young people. For example, in 2020, the tourism sector shrank by over 50%, resulting in millions of job losses. These losses significantly reduced young people's chances of finding work. Although China began to recover after the pandemic, unfortunately, all the measures taken were slow. This situation indicated that economic recovery would be more challenging than expected. As everyone knows, China is one of the leading countries in the world in terms of population, which led the government to take certain measures. In 1979, China implemented the one-child policy, which significantly slowed the population growth rate. You might think that this was the most sensible decision at the time, but as time went on, some issues arising from this decision emerged. The reduction in China's population also led to an increase in the elderly population. As a result of this policy, by 2021, the population over 65 years old in China made up 14% of the total population. This proportion could reach 20% by 2035. This situation is putting pressure on social security systems and the labor market due to the aging population. Additionally, the decline in the younger population has limited the supply of labor necessary for economic growth. This means fewer young workers in the labor market and more competition for existing jobs. To meet a demand, it's essential to have the necessary resources, but the one-child policy made this situation more difficult. This has increased the demand for young workers in China's aging population. However, if this demand cannot be met, it may become inevitable for unemployment rates among young people to rise. As of 2024, the labor force participation rate in China is at 67%. This rate continues to decline with the aging population, and this trend could negatively impact long-term economic growth. So, what should be done? First, young people should be encouraged to become entrepreneurs, and various incentives and support programs should be created to promote the startup culture. Starting in 2024, it's clear that startups valued at over $1 billion are gaining attention. Tax breaks, easy financing, and special training programs should be offered to young entrepreneurs. Since 2022, the 10,000 Innovation Centers for Young Entrepreneurs program has been launched, which has been a good support in helping young entrepreneurs bring their projects to life. By making such preparations, it's possible to significantly reduce the unemployment rate, but there's not much we can do. In large economies, people are often overlooked. The only thing that matters is money. We see it everywhere. Everything is for our people. We're doing everything for them. It's all a lie. No government is good. They all have no limits to what they won't do for their own interests. So wherever you are in the world, work for yourself and your loved ones. Research, read, learn, but learn things that will enable you to earn money in today's world. After you start earning money, chase your dreams. Based on what I've said, it's still not enough. To put it simply, the only way out of this future is entrepreneurship. Take something you know really well and learn it even better, and place it within the context of today's world, and that's how you'll escape from this not-so-great future. That's what I did back then, and I saved my own future. Going to college, looking for government jobs, etc., these won't save us. I know what I'm saying isn't easy, but it can be done. It's worth facing this difficulty for yourself and your loved ones, rather than spending your life fulfilling someone else's dreams. As I said, the only way is entrepreneurship. As time goes on and technology advances, we're entering a path we don't fully understand. It's hard to know what's ahead. We can only make guesses and focus on the present. So, how do we survive in a world where life is tough? As you all know, today, artificial intelligence has become a part of our lives. For some, this is the end of the road. For others, it's the start of a better world. That's all for me. I've tried to share what I know. So what do you think? I'm really curious. This is the first video on my channel. I'll be posting videos frequently from now on. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video to support me. See you.